Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of Fiber Crops Part 1. So in this part, we are going to study about what are fiber crops. Bast fibers, structural fibers, surface fiber. These are the three different types of fibers we get in the plant, right? The fibers, we can say the fibers can be classified in these three types. And there is also the significance of crop fibers. So all these topics we are going to cover up in this particular session. So let us start the session. Fiber crops. The use of fiber obtained from the plants for clothing has been recorded since the prehistoric time. So we are using this fiber obtained from the plant for making our clothing, right? So the early human obtained fiber from the plant, which later on was spun and weaved to get threads by interlocking the strands. So first of all, the fibers, these are suppose the fibers that get spun in the form of strands, right? And these strands later spun and weaved to form a thread-like structure. So these threads are later used to make clothes even. The fiber consists of long, narrow cells having thick walls but narrow lumen. So what these fiber consist of? These are having long, narrow cells. So suppose if we are talking about the cells, then this is a long, narrow cell of the fibers and having thick wall. The wall of this particular cell is quite thick but narrow lumen, means inside it is narrow, the width is less. So this is the fiber consists long narrow cells having thick cell walls but narrow lumen. The cells are non-living but impart strength and rigidity to the plant body. So these cells are non-living. They are non-living actually, but they are having a lot of strength because of the cell wall, right? And they are very rigid to the plant body. They occur singly or in groups, that is, they occur in bundles and closely cemented to each other. Sometimes they are present in the singly form and sometimes they are present in the group. So when they are present groups, the fibers are, or the cells of the fibers are cemented together. Many plant species are rich source of vegetable fiber. So there are many plant species that are having vegetable fiber as well. Vegetable fibers are mainly composed of cellulose, which forms its main structural component. This macromolecule is made up of many glucose units. This we have already studied in the biomolecules chapters, that structure of cellulose. So the unit is the glucose unit and it is from a very complex structural form. So that is the structural unit, one of the structural unit in the case of plant cell, right? Plant fibers have been classified into the different types depending upon the morphological nature and the structure. So on the basis of the morphological nature or the structure, plant fiber can be classified into three different types. Okay, so they are mainly classified into three types, that is the soft stem. Soft stem means bast fibers. So the fibers you are obtained from the stem, right? And basically these stems are quite soft and those fibers are called as bast fibers. Hard leaf or the structural fibers, you are getting fibers from the hard leaf, okay? And those are also called as the structural fibers. And there are surface fibers. We obtain fibers from the surface of the seeds. So that is why it is called as surface fibers, right? So this is a very important, that soft stem fibers are there, or they are called as bast fibers, hard leaf or the structural fibers, and the surface fiber. These are the three different fibers we obtain. So the first one is bast fiber. These fibers are found associated with the phloem, pericycle, and cortex. So this name, this Bast, this is for the phloem part of the vascular bundle, right? So the fibers are found associated with the phloem, pericycle, and also the cortex. They are found mostly in the dicotyledonous plant. So this is we obtain from the dicotyledonous plant. So this is one of the very, very important part. That is the bast fibers, right? The phloem, right? Bast fibers, they are durable and capable of resisting bleaching. So they are very durable fiber. They are capable of resisting the bleaching. So the commercial bast fibers are produced by the plants, mainly flax, jute, hemp, and kenaf. So these are some of the bast fibers, right? These are commercial bast fibers. That is the flax, jute, hemp, and kenaf. They next is the structural fibers. They include strands of small, short, lignified cells ensheathing xylem and phloem. So they include the strands of small and short lignified cell. Lignin get deposited at the surface of the cell. This is very, very important. Lignin get deposited. Right? Lignin get deposited and they are ensheathing which cell? Xylem and phloem. So they are mainly found in the leaves of monocotyledonous plants, right? So the monocotyledonous plant, they are having xylem and phloem, they are having the deposition of this lignin, right? And they form a structural fibers. They are highly lignified and coarser. So we can see here the banana stem and the leaves are taken out fibers that are present in that, and we all know that these banana fibers are very important. These are also used for making clothes, saris, and other dress materials, right? So this is very, very important. Structural fibers, and we all know that every part of the banana is useful. We all know that fruit is edible. Their flowers are used for making so many vegetables and also some curry. Stem is also used for making vegetables, and its stems and leaves are also used for taking out these fibers. So all the parts of banana is very important commercially. Next, third type is the surface fibers. This type of fibers are produced on the surface of stems, leaves, fruits, and seeds. So we obtain the fibers from a stem surface, leaf surface, fruit surface, and also seeds. The fiber arise as an epidermal outgrowth of the seeds or the inner wall of the fruit. So this epidermis of the seeds, the outer covering, that is the epidermis of seeds, okay, that gives out some outgrowth, and that is used as making fibers. The cotton is the main plant in this category. Okay, so the fiber crops can be classified according to their use, how we are using that, which fiber and how they are using, right? So we are having textile fibers, we are having brush fibers, we are having filling fibers, natural fibers, paper making fibers. So the different fibers we are having, right? So let us discuss. The first one is the textile fiber. The fiber that are used in the manufacture of fabrics are called as textile fiber. Textile industries are basically based on this. So the manufacture of fabrics and the fibers that are used for the manufacture of fabrics, that is called as textile fibers. For the manufacture of fabric, the fibers are twisted together in the threads or yarn and then woven. So here you can see the threads. Okay, so these are made from the fibers. and that is used for making clothes, and that is textile. That is why it is called as textile fibers. So the cotton along with some quantities of flax, rami and hemp are used for this purpose. So not only the textiles are so versatile that not only this cotton is used, but along with cotton, some other fibers are mixed. That is the flax, rami and hemp, right? And we modify this textile, right? So this are now nowadays we are using such a technique. Some fibers are also used to manufacture the brush fibers. These include the sisal and isal hard fibers. So these are quite hard fibers, right? For brush we require some hard fibers. So broom corn, that is the inflorescence of the sorghum vulgare, right? So this inflorescence are used for making fibers, and they are quite strong and stiff fibers of piasawa, that is the fiber from the palm leaves and stem. So that is also used for making fibers. So the flat strands or strips are woven into hats, baskets and the roof of houses. So not only they are used for making brush, right? So they are also used for making flat strands or the strips are woven that makes into hats, baskets and the roof of houses. Filling fibers. Some fibers are used for filling of cushions and mattresses. So we all know that our cushions and mattresses are filled with some fibers, right? So those fibers are called as filling fibers. These includes cotton, jute, hard fibers and several grasses. Sometimes grasses can also be filled. So various wood fibers, grasses and sedges are used for making paper also. So not only these are used for the filling fiber, these can also be used for making papers. So the different types of fibers can be used for producing paper. The most well known is the wood fiber. In the beginning of the paper making, mostly the fibers from the cotton and silk were used, right? Earlier. But later on, with the advancement of the technology, wood are also used for making paper. Over the centuries, paper has been made from a wide variety of materials such as cotton, wheat straw, sugarcane waste, flax, bamboo, wood, linen rags and hemp. So all these are nowadays used for making papers. Process of fiber crop. So we do not get the fiber in the form which we are using, right? So it should get a process. So in the past, the old textiles were recycled to obtain fibers. Nowadays, fibers is obtained from the fiber plant. The extraction process used in determined by the type of fiber. So our extraction process is dependent on what type of fibers we are using. Microbes are used in retting to produce the bast fiber. So different microbes. So there is a tank and we put the bast, that is the stem, with water and they are having lot of bacteria. So that causes retting. This process is called as retting and that produces bast fibers. So the bacteria help to remove the soft tissue from the fiber plant. So the bacteria here, they remove all the fiber, all the tissue and only this bast fibers is left. So as the machines remove the product from the plant, the hard fibers are obtained through the decortication and the soft fibers are obtained through ginning. So for the hard fibers, we require decortication technique, and for taking out the soft fibers, we require ginning. So that is in the case of surface fiber. This ginning is done in the case of surface fibers. Okay, now let us talk about the significance of the fiber crops. Why we are using these fibers? So in addition to being source of the natural fiber, most fiber crops contain other parts that have been used for the variety of purposes such as human food, food additives animal feed, raw materials for the biofuel production, and heating fuel. So the fibers are not only used for making the cloth material, but these some of the natural fiber, like most of the fiber crop, they are also used for making human food additives, animal feed, raw material for the biofuel production, and also the heating fuel. So this is one of the significance. In addition to the role of fiber crops in human health and welfare, the medicinal properties of several traditional fiber crops are gaining popularity. So there are some fiber plants that are used to take out medicine, and these are some of the traditional fibers that are used from very past, that because of their medicinal property, right? So the fibers are also used because of their medicinal properties. Hemp, scientific name is the cannabis sativa of the Bast fiber category, for example, contain a wide range of pharmacologically active compounds, some of which have been used to treat chronic rheumatoid arthritis, glaucoma, asthma, and the mental disorder in humans. So this is very, very important. Hemp, scientific name cannabis sativa. So this particular bast fiber, this provide the bast fiber, this is also used, it contains some pharmacologically active compounds and that are used for treating chronic rheumatoid arthritis, glaucoma, asthma, and mental disorder, and some of the mental disorder in case of human. Flax has a medicinal properties as skin moisturizer, pain reliever, and the treatment of lung disease and diuresis. So this flax plant is also very, very important because it also has some medicinal properties. It is used in making skin moisturizer, pain reliever, treatment of lung disease, and also in diuresis disease. Similarly, rami, another bast fiber crop, can stop bleeding, relieve pain, reduce inflammation, and slow proliferation of the cancer cells. So they are also used in as a to stop bleeding process, pain reliever, reduced inflammation, and also the proliferation of the cancerous cell. Crop fibers, being biodegradable, have also been used as alternative to xenobiotic compounds such as plastic. So we are nowadays avoiding the plastic because they are very harmful to our environment. So some crop fibers, they are being biodegradable, so we can use these fibers for making these xenobiotic compounds in place of these xenobiotic compounds. Hemp and rami fibers, for example, have been developed into environmental friendly mulch for crop and vegetable fields. So these are some of the fibers. Hemp and rami fibers, they are used for the mulch process because they are quite environmental friendly. This type of mulch has a number of desirable properties, including being biodegradable. So you do not have to remove after mulch for the mulching process. They are biodegradable, so they becomes a part of the soil, having high permeability, water retention, and due to their having high water retention capacity, they are a good we can say that forms the good humus and promoting the growth of beneficial soil microorganisms. So indeed, such natural fiber based mulch has been regarded as excellent replacement for the petroleum based polythene plastic covers. So we do not require these petroleum based plastic covers. So we are avoiding these elements, and that is quite environmental friendly. So this is all about this session. We will have one more session to complete the fiber crops. Thank you very much.